Welcome to the 2010 graduation. When I started planning what I was going to say, there were two major requests people had made of me. One, they wanted my speech to be funny, and two, they wanted it to be short. Now, I'm afraid I'm only going to be able to fulfill one of those requests, because the only way I'm going to make anyone laugh is if I trip on my way back to my seat. But I can promise to be brief. First, I would like to thank all of those who have helped me and my classmates throughout the years. Teachers, coaches, administration, and family. We could not have gotten to this point without your encouragement and instruction in every way. When I think about the class of 2010, our class, I think of Kevin O'Weiler practically living in the auditorium, Annie Palmer singing the Star-Spangled Banner at sporting events, and Griffin Dougherty solving his Rubik's Cube. We have done extraordinary things in our years here, and not just in our senior year. We have people who have gone to Cameroon and to Iceland, an award-winning soloist, and All-American runner. We have 59 recipients of the President's Education Award. Last year, the football players in our grade helped win the state championship. We've won conference championships and competitions. Just this year, boys tennis won the conference for the first time since 1981, and girls basketball became conference champions for the first time since 1976. As a class and as individuals, we have both drive and talent, which have gotten us to where we are today. These accomplishments give me confidence that we will all continue to succeed and do extraordinary things, no matter where we are. When I think about this class, I think of good people who have supported and respected each other since elementary school. I think of Gentlemen 10 and fundraisers and service projects we have participated in both here at school and in the town itself. I've lived in Verona for 10 years. Some of us have lived here longer than that, some of us less. But I think you'll all agree that this town and the people in it have helped us become the people we are today. I remember very clearly how I was immediately welcomed as a classmate and friend when I moved here in the 2nd grade. Since then, I have been a part of this group, a group of people who conduct themselves with kindness and integrity. That's an attitude I want to take with me wherever I go, and I hope the rest of you do too. I hope we all remember this class, this school, and this town as we move on, no matter where we go, and we remember the mindset we learned here, to work hard and make the world a better place in both big ways and small ways. I hope we remember to be good as well as remarkable. Thanks for a great 4 years at VHS. Good luck, and congratulations to the class of 2010.
Members of the Board of Education, administration, teachers, parents, guests, and my fellow classmates. We stand ready to close this initial chapter of our lives and are all eager to embark on the next phase of our journey. We leave Verona High School all with differing accomplishments, some big and some small. Some of us will remember definite accomplishments while some cannot wait to forget. But it does not matter whether you achieved academically or in sports or in clubs or just sat those things out. What matters most as we prepare to move on to colleges and careers is that you develop and protect your own personal integrity. The challenges each of us will face will only continue to expand in complexity. They will at each step test us to remain true to ourselves and exercise integrity as our compass. Webster defines integrity simply as a firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic values. Its ally, honesty. It builds reputation, honor, and trust. Integrity. One simple word that stands for so much. Dating back centuries, the concept requires us to exercise a personal code of honor toward others in our personal and professional lives. A simple concept, followed by some, ignored by some. Situations often occur where integrity's reward lacks any public accolade or notoriety, just personal comfort. Integrity satisfaction, a powerful one, can still be summed up by the time-tested adage, can you look yourself in the mirror? On a national level, we have seen the large public spectacles, what goes wrong when we turn our backs on integrity. Dishonesty exercised by presidents have led to impeachments like Nixon and Clinton, forced the former to resign. In business, dishonesty and greed have led to the failures of mighty banks and corporations. The daily tragedy in the Gulf begs all of us to ask the question, who didn't do the right thing? Individuals like Bernie Madoff have lied, cheated, and defrauded friends and strangers alike. But even against that backdrop, once in a while, we see integrity rise above all else. When it does, it renews our spirit and allows us to see the best in people. This very situation literally played itself out before our eyes just a few weeks ago during what was supposed to be the only 21st perfect game played in Major League Baseball history. In the bottom of the 9th inning, with 2 outs and only 1 to go, Indians' Jason Donald, taking a pitch from the Tigers' Armando Galarraga, hit a shot to the first base side of the diamond. First baseman Miguel Cabrera fielded the ball and made an underhand toss to covering Galarraga. Galarraga had raced to cover first base and protect his perfect game. He caught the throw, thought he got the out, only to then endure a safe call by umpire Jim Joyce. In an instant, and likely for the only chance in a lifetime, his perfect game vanished. It would have been the way life goes if the call had been right, but it was wrong. In this moment and the days after, integrity abounded. An umpire transformed himself from a man defined by the blown call simply by his honesty in admitting to the whole world he made a mistake. From then on, nobody from fans to critics to Galarraga faulted him again. A pitcher, denied one of the biggest moments of his life, rejected anger and name-calling and did a remarkable thing. He smiled in the face of everything. He respected the umpire's mistaken call. In that moment, he actually rose higher in all of our eyes than if he had thrown the 21st perfect game in Major League history. Even the runner said later he expected to be called out. Therein lies the message for all of us. The great leveler on the playing field of life is integrity. In any situation we will face, our integrity will always see us through. It is ours to keep as individuals, ours to protect, and something that nobody can take from us unless we let them. Money, power, fame, all can be lost, but if you allow yourself to lose your integrity, you have truly lost everything. No matter where the future leads, a life of integrity will make you the richest person. So as we all move on, follow integrity's lead, because the defining moments of our lives will often not rest upon how smart we are or how talented. They will be shaped simply by how we conducted ourselves in the face of both success and failure. In closing, as the saying goes, all is well that ends well. In class of 2010, we have ended well. Congratulations.
Good evening. Most of my classmates know me to usually be joking around, dancing in the halls, and finding ways to make them laugh. But tonight, I want to show a different side, to honor those who have touched my heart and made an impact on my life. As you may or may not know, I've lived in Kearney my whole life. I started attending the Verona school system 8 years ago when I was entering the 5th grade as a tuition student. I started school not knowing a single soul. The students welcomed me and befriended me, but the people that made me feel the most comfortable adjusting to Verona were the faculty and staff. When I began freshman year at the high school, my mom, a VHS teacher, suggested that I join as many curricular activities as I could to meet new people and make new friends. I joined soccer, cheerleading, track, dance club, environmental club, rebel, student council, and several other activities. Not only were the members of these clubs and sports welcoming to me, the advisors and coaches comforted me and made me feel as much a part of the school as any student that grew up here in Verona. Everyone in the class of 2010 can agree that not only do we have strong relationships with some of our teachers in the classroom, but also outside. We can say the same about our wonderful coaches who have been there for us on and off the field. Our coaches, who most are teachers, relate school and sports together. Both have taught us how much real hard work has paid off if you put your mind to it, and the persistence to keep trying when we fail over and over again. To have a successful year, developing a good relationship with your teachers is definitely the most important. Treating our teachers with respect and kindness is the proper thing to do. I'm sure our teachers will embrace this understanding. The amount of fairness shown by teachers is appreciated. Willingness of teachers to listen is generous, and the patience shown by them is amazing. In the future, wherever you go, remember those who have helped you, our parents, teachers, friends, and community members. Remember their care and kindness and encouragement. Use it to help continue on your path of success, and be sure to pass it along to others. To end this speech, I would like to share a quote with you by an unknown author. We go to school every day to learn what we see as pointless things, but we are never taught how to love. We aren't taught how to make moments last, But I think the most unfair thing is at the end of high school, we are tested on something that we were never taught. We have to stand in front of each other and say goodbye. So as we face each other one last time as classmates to take this final test, we want to thank everyone for helping us become who we are today. Congrats to the class of 2010.
Aren't we a bunch of characters? Woo! Way to start, guys. It's too late for my mom to fix my hair. Anyway, alright, getting on. Welcome, Board of Education members, faculty, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandmothers, grandfathers, mamas, papas, best friends, not so best friends, alumni, and finally, the stars of this evening, the graduating class of 2010. If you've been like I have... Oh, thanks, guys. If you've been like I have, you sat through quite a few of these speeches over your years at the high school and very well may be saying to yourself, oh, this kid must be really annoying. And you're probably right. Or the classic checking of your watch to see what time this thing's going to wrap up so you guys can get home and watch someone other than myself babble on about nothing for a long period of time. Hopefully I'll break the mold on that one, but no promises. When writing this, I struggle finding the right words to say. How do I possibly summarize my 12 years in the Verona public school system in one speech, given to my best friends, family, and a bunch of strangers who are probably judging every word I say? No pressure, right? Didn't think so. Basically, my goal in making this speech to you guys is not having anyone, mom, dad, try and wring my neck after it's completed, because let's be honest, that would be a little awkward to watch for you people. But then, finally I began to realize that this wasn't just another speech, and this really was important to me. I thought about what I was to say to my fellow classmates, and here's what I came up with. There's so many different principles and ideals that can carry you on the road to success today that it really is astonishing. A man like Carnegie was born into nothing and became the richest man in the world by 1901 as he sold his company to J.P. Morgan. You can invent, you can cheat, you can work hard, and you can lie. But in the end, what does it all really mean? It's almost scary to see how much opportunity lies right in front of us. And I really don't want to be the person who stands up here and offers you a quote on how to live your life, because in the end, I think we've all kind of found our own way to do things, as so many of you have taught me throughout the years. We all have the decision to choose whichever career best interests us, and so much of your success in that given field is determined by hard work and dedication. But is that really it? I don't know the answer to these questions. Crummy advice, yeah, I know. But I can give you my honest opinion. I'll ask another question. What is success? Success is getting super rich while stepping on as many people and loved ones as you can along the way. Just kidding. I can tell you that success is based on one simple thing to me. When you come home, no matter how hectic your day, and your hopefully incredibly high-paying jobs, can you fall asleep knowing that you live with a sense of meaning and purpose? When you go back and consider each action, each word, do you like the person you've become? Someone once told me that you can't love anyone until you love yourself. Know that at the end of the day, you answer to yourself. Your attitude to your situation, and the ability to dust yourself off and say, I did the best that I could, all the time, is exactly what success means to me. As you go throughout life, just remember that we're all individuals and we each make a mark on this world. You decide what kind of impact you make, positive or negative. No matter what, be hopeful. We have the world in our hands, and we decide which path to take. To the many people who have helped the class of 2010 to achieve this level of optimism, we can offer you two simple but heartfelt words. Thank you. You have supported an outstanding group which is responsible for shaping the personalities of each of its members. To all of the families in the audience, we love you more than you know. To my parents and step-parents, I love you so much, and even me thanking you in front of all of these people is not enough to show my intense gratitude and my appreciation. The whole world should know just how much you've meant to me, and to be redundant, how much I love you. To the class of 2010, thank you so much for being there. Hey, you guys are great. Guys, I'm not done. You can do that, I swear. It's fine. We've all had our problems outside of school. Sorry to interrupt. We've all had our problems outside of school, but we had and will always have each other, this group of people backing one another. Thank you. To our friends, we've talked until we've cried out of laughter, out of tragedy, and everything in between. A buddy of mine once told me that there are good ships, there are wood ships, and there are ships that sail the sea. But the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. We've been through so much together as friends that we've almost become a family. Thank you to the teachers and administration for being the guiding force in our studies. Studies and lives outside of the classroom just the same. It has made us the people we are today, and looking back, I know you made so many of our nights sleepless and difficult to teach us a lesson. This has truly left indelible marks on so many of us, and it will not and cannot be forgotten. Thank you. All right, let's wind it down, guys. 2 seconds, come on. The teachers have prepared us to achieve, but the high school experience has equally helped us to realize that no matter who we are in this life, or who we interact with, we may not enjoy in each and every person we come in contact with. But we will still go forward. Thus, you, as an individual, have learned something from each member of this class. Thank you, Verona High School, for teaching me all the lessons that couldn't be learned in the classroom. And please, to the students, never stop learning. Find happiness without hurting your loved ones, and do not stop until you do, my friends, because if 18 years can go by this fast, this life really must be a blur. Thank you, guys. It's meant the world. I love you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our graduation exercises. For those of you who don't know me, you may recognize my voice. You see, I'm the voice of Global Connect, the guy who calls your house every few weeks, starting with, "This is Mr. Galbercheck, Assistant Principal of Verona High School," followed by some important message for you. To the parents, I apologize for interrupting dinner so often. To the class, sorry if you got your hopes up that school was going to be canceled when I called. But you'll be happy to know that I have been in contact with all of your colleges, and you'll still be getting my calls long after you've left Verona High School. Class of 2010 certainly added to the proud tradition of scholarship and community at Verona High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the students you see in front of you have contributed to Verona High School's proud legacy, and it is my privilege to spend a few minutes reviewing the many highlights of this class's senior year, and please bear with me because there are a lot of them. The school year started like no other at Verona High School on September 8th, 2009, about a half hour before the start of the first class on the first day of school. A group of senior boys wearing dress shirts and ties welcomed everyone who walked in. They also handed maps of the building to all the freshmen so they could easily find their way around the building and to their classrooms. This group of senior boys, who called themselves the Gentlemen 10, did all this on their own. Members of the Gentlemen 10 established a positive tone for the rest of the year. They even wore shirts and ties to school once a month and conducted themselves by leading the way in treating everyone in the building with the respect they deserved. The class of 2010 led the way in the classroom, on the stage, and on the field. Once again, the marching band, under the leadership of 17 seniors, added to its proud tradition of excellence. This year, the seniors, led the marching maroon and white to a first place trophy at the Festival of Bands, which took place on this very field. The marching band also won the award for Best Music at the state championships. On the stage, under the direction of a senior, members of the graduating class helped deliver a memorable performance of the play Rumors. The VHS athletic teams had another banner year. During the fall season, the boys cross-country team won both conference and state sectional championships. One senior finished as the third best runner in the state of New Jersey and earned All-American status in cross-country. The senior-led boys soccer team qualified for the state playoffs for the first time since 1986. Shortly after the conclusion of the fall season, members of the class of 2010 were recognized for their accomplishments. 18 seniors earned all-conference honors, while 2 others were named honorable mention. 9 seniors earned all-Essex County status, 6 were named all-Group 1, and 1 senior was named all-state. The cold winter arrived, and the VHS Concert Band and Chorus once again entertained us with holiday favorites at the annual winter concert. The girls' indoor track team earned second-place trophies at both the conference and state sectional championship meets. The wrestling team earned its first conference championship in school history. The team was led by a senior who won both the district and Essex County championships in his weight class. The girls' basketball team brought home its first conference championship since 1976. In all, 15 seniors were recognized as all-conference athletes during the winter season, while 3 were named All-Essex County and 2 earned All-Group 1 recognition. In January, a group of 3 seniors attended the prestigious Model United Nations Conference hosted by Harvard University. This year's winter musical, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, was directed by a member of this year's graduating class. The concert band was honored for the second consecutive year as one of only 6 bands out of the over 500 that applied to perform in the Mid-Atlantic Band Festival at Rutgers University. Spring arrived and this class was far from done in making its mark. The cast, crew, and members of the band performed the musical Back to the 80s to standing ovations from crowds that packed the auditorium. During its trip to Virginia Beach, members of the senior class once again led the music department as the jazz band and concert band earned superior ratings and first place recognition. Just a few days before the trip, in its spring concert, the jazz band performed a rendition of Michael Jackson's Thriller that was so good it's already a YouTube sensation. The senior-led boys tennis team won its first state sectional title since 1981. Both the boys and girls track teams won the conference championships, while the girls track team, led by an outstanding group of seniors, won its 4th straight state sectional championship. 1 boy and 1 girl track team member broke Group 1 meet records in their respective events. In all, 17 seniors earned all conference accolades this spring. Another 5 earned honorable mention. 3 were named All-Essex County and 6 earned all Group 1 honors. 29 members of the class of 2010 have been inducted into the Verona chapter of the National Honor Society. 6 seniors helped organize the Avant-Garde Literary Magazine. 1 member of the senior class was cited for excellence in student directing at the Bucks County Theater Festival. Verona's Decade Club had a banner year, with seniors earning accolades at the regional and state competitions. 1 senior was awarded 2 scholarships through the state and regional DECA organizations. One of the highlights of any year at Verona High School is the Creative Arts Festival. Projects and works of all types of art created by members of the senior class were on display for the community just a few weeks ago. Members of the class of 2010 led the way in assisting those in need by continuing a tradition of raising money and awareness of a variety of causes, including breast cancer awareness, hunger, ALS, the Valerie Fund, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Coaches vs. Cancer, heart disease, just to name a few. Members of the class of 2010 have big plans ahead of them. Of the graduates you see here tonight, 91% will be enrolled in post-secondary education this fall. 41% of the college-bound graduates will be continuing their education in New Jersey, while 59% will be leaving the Garden State in their post-secondary educational pursuits. Students will be leaving Verona and traveling from Boston to Nevada, from Minnesota to Mexico. Many of our students will be receiving financial packages as they begin their post-secondary careers. At our senior awards night, the class of 2010 was awarded over $115,000 in scholarships. This senior class produced 11 Edward J. Blaustein Distinguished Scholars. 4 seniors were named Commended Scholars, and 1 senior was a recipient of the prestigious National Merit Scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the highlights, the accomplishments, and the awards of this class. Let's have a round of applause for them.
The following students are graduating with high honors and have a cumulative grade point average of a 3.7 or better. As I call your name, please stand to be recognized and remain standing until all names have been called. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Dave Oster, Jocelyn Smith, Kevin Clark, Joseph Ramo, Christina Braschi, Stephen Adamo, Lauren Frazee, Brian Hardenberg, Christine Macia, Joel Paisner, Stephanie Laguerre, Douglas Allen, Daniel Egan, Thomas Banks, Rebecca Conway, Miriam Tarikian, William Schenkel, Charlotte Lewis, Michael Gomez, Thomas DiGeronimo, Melanie Goldstein, Elizabeth Hathaway, Ian Garsman, Teresa Lau, Emma Paulette, Mackenzie Kirby, Megan Smiley, Rebecca Thompson, Noah Herman, Teresa Langen, Rebecca Slotkin, Taylor Maloney, Alyssa Rashong, Emma McFarland, Victoria Ye, Emily Fitzpatrick, Alex Eliasoff, Kathleen McGinley, Amy Janet, Claire Delaney, Teddy Rosenstein, Evan Lewis, John Reed, Jessica Noyes, Jessica Sam, Bina Nai, and last but not least, our co-valedictorians, Nicole Robertson and Erin Percival. Graduates, you may be seated.
When we came up with the program for tonight, Mr. Sampson and I had a quick chat, and I said to him, what are some of the things about this class that stand out? And what he said echoed a lot of what you heard from the student speakers and the rest here tonight. You heard about how supportive you are of each other, how motivated, respectful, and positive you are, how enthusiastic and what a united bunch you are. And I hope that parents here can get inspired by what you've done and what you've meant to Verona High School. And when you do come to a Board of Ed meeting, bring a beach ball and let's get a wave going. And for the town council as well, we have Mr. Sapienza here representing the town council, and we would have had gowns for us on the Board of Ed and the town council, but the only ones we had left said Hilton on the back. So we just stuck with our suits. But as you graduate Verona and you think about what you're going to do next in life, as you go on to college and you go on to the next step of your life, and you think about the world that you face today, and you think about what Nicole said earlier and what's echoed in some of the other pieces, you think about what a troubled and daunting place you read about. You think about the energy crisis, and you think about Iran and North Korea, and you think about the economy and politics, and there's a whole litany of things that kind of keep you awake at night if you let it. But when you look back at when your parents graduated, when I graduated, late 70s to mid 80s, for most people, right? And you think about what was going on back then, they were the exact same things. You know, you had the Iran hostage crisis, there was OPEC and an oil crisis, an energy crisis. We've been running out of oil, I think, since 1850. You think about healthcare, you think about politics, you think about the need for technology, and all the things that are troubling in the world today are the same things that are troubling for every generation that graduates high school and has to move on. And the same kinds of folks that graduated high school back then went out, and in the last 30 years, they developed everything from the Easy Pass to GPSs, ATMs, DNA testing, the MRI. You travel to Mars, and we don't even read about it in the newspaper anymore. It's so routine, it seems. More nutrition is delivered in agriculture in the world today than ever in the history of mankind. Our opportunities for education are incredible compared to what they were. So the people that graduated facing the same daunting kinds of things that you graduated went out and did all those things. And if you think about the kind of class that you are and the qualities that you have, I can't tell you what to go out there and invent. I can't tell you what to go out there and innovate. But I can tell you that if you're persistent, if you're focused, and you're dedicated, and you keep doing the sorts of things you do, that you're going to be successful and you're going to make your mark. So we're proud of you for what you've done, and we're going to be more proud for what you're going to do. So congratulations and all the best.
Come on, folks. Don't make me change my speech. I would like to welcome our Board of Education members, administrative team, faculty, staff, family, friends, honored guests, and our graduating seniors, the class of 2010. It has been my distinct honor to serve as your superintendent this year, and I am absolutely proud to relay my thoughts to you this evening. As a class, the class of 2010 has absolutely distinguished themselves. You've set an exemplary standard for other classes to follow. I'm proud of this class in particular, and the tone that you've set in the halls of Verona High School this year. Whether through the work of the peer leaders, the Gentlemen 10, or so many of you who are seniors came in this year and said, you know what, I'm a leader of this building and I accept that responsibility and I'm going to set the tone for everybody else in this building. You've truly done that. And that's unique to high schools, trust me. Thank you for doing that. I believe that your contributions as a class have been completely unique, and I challenge you to maintain that uniqueness as you chart your course through life. We live in an exciting time. Change, whether technological, scientific, or cultural, is all around us. But such change poses unique opportunities for each of you to embrace those qualities that make you who you are and give life to your individual identity. I challenge each of you to pursue your dreams with vigor and tenacity, but to never let go of the childlike quality of remaining uniquely you, regardless of what anyone else says or does. For in tapping into who you are, you will live a life free of peer pressure and worries over how others perceive you. The American author Eric Hoffer once said that it is the child in people that is the source of their uniqueness and creativeness, and the playground is the optimal milieu for the unfolding of those capacities and talents. I ask that you strive to make your life a playground. As a father of young children, I spend a great deal of time reading children's books. Heavy intellectual stuff, trust me. But I'm always surprised at how powerful the simple messages are which are contained in those stories and how easily we lose sight of those stories as we grow into adulthood. A recurring theme in many of these stories is to not fear being yourself. This becomes increasingly difficult as we age and become so subject to so many pressures. All right, come on, guys. A shark? Regardless, many of these children's stories encourage you to dance when you want to dance, sing when you want to sing, to be the best person you can be, to embrace who you are, to never be afraid of being that individual. One of my favorite stories is Spookly the Square Pumpkin. Spookly is a pumpkin who's born shaped like a square. The poor little guy bears taunts and teasing at hands of all the round pumpkins who do not value his unique shape, until one day a big storm blows through and his square shape blocks the fence where all of them are falling through the bay. The story concludes with a new appreciation for all shapes of pumpkins shared by all the round folks. I share this story to encourage you to never give up your own unique qualities to conform to the perceived norm. Follow your heart, because somewhere along the way most people forget to do that in life. And life will be challenging enough. Don't ever compromise who you are. Henry Ford had said that no person living is not capable of doing more than he or she thinks he can do. Remember that, for as you move through life you'll face many pressures and challenges, and being who you are, living up to your unique potential, will be difficult at times. Surround yourself with people who appreciate that uniqueness, who cultivate and nurture who you are, your family and friends and loved ones. Thank them for letting them be who you are. Let go of any relationships that hold you back, that limit your continual growth as a person. And never underestimate the importance of staying true to who you are. Realize that the pressure to do what everyone else is doing is not such a large obstacle to overcome. Let others think what they will. Dare to be yourself, always. Do not ever lose sight of who you were on the playground. Someone who played fair, who supported your friends unconditionally, someone who danced when you wanted to dance. I wish you well on your journey. I'm proud to congratulate you on your high school graduation this evening. Class of 2010, thank you for being who you are.
But you can see we're learning. That was a globe ball. Now, before I begin my remarks, I have two items to talk about. The first one is that around 2:20 this afternoon, a storm blew in. You wouldn't know it looking out here tonight, but it caused some problems here. And I want to commend the custodial staff and the maintenance staff for getting us back and prepared. Thank you, guys. Next, I would like the following staff members to please rise. Mrs. Lillian Gonzalez-Roy, Mrs. Maria Lanahan, Mr. Joseph Sabade, Mrs. Patricia Schoenig, and Mr. Thomas Valenti. On behalf of Verona High School and the Verona community, I'd like to thank you for your dedicated years of service to the students, staff, and community of Verona. Good evening to all who are with us here tonight. We thank you for being a part of our ceremony. To the class of 2010, I offer you congratulations from all of us at VHS. I stand here tonight with mixed emotions, proud of all you have accomplished, yet sad to see you go. As the sun slowly slips behind one of our hills of our great community, this is a time to reflect on what you have achieved in order for you to become graduates of our school. You have earned unparalleled success in the classroom, on the stage, and on the athletic field. You demonstrated character and a drive to be the best in all that you do. You demonstrated respect and intellect to teachers, coaches, peers, and community members. You are one of the great classes to ever walk through these halls, one that has surely been a role model for others to emulate. But you did not get here alone. Take a moment, look around at those who are with you here tonight. All of them, parents, teachers, family and friends, played a supportive, mentoring, and loving role in your success. Not only did you benefit from their wisdom and guidance, you built on it, enhanced it, and used it to achieve greater heights of success. For as much as you were given, you gave even more to others. For as much support as you received, you pass it on in the form of comfort, caring, and mentoring to those in need. While you richly benefited from a great community, you did not waste it. Instead, you used it to establish a level of greatness that will long be remembered throughout the halls of our school. I know I speak for all of the faculty when I say thank you, and I applaud you for your efforts. 40 years ago, the world was transfixed as a lunar capsule struggled to make its way back to Earth. Their journey, popularized in the film Apollo 13, tells of the difficulties associated with the ship's return to Earth after a ruptured oxygen tank threatened their lives. Their commander, James Lovell, along with his crew and hundreds of NASA employees, came together to formulate a strategy to solve the problem and bring the ship and its crew safely home. But this was not the first time Lovell had encountered difficulties in the air. In his book Genesis, the story of Apollo 8, author Robert Zimmerman tells of Lovell's first difficult experience with returning safely to Earth. In 1955, 15 years before the Apollo 13 mission, Lovell served as a naval pilot. He was flying over the Sea of Japan when a series of events put his return to his aircraft carrier in peril. First, thick clouds rolled in not long into his flight. The clouds were so thick, other flights were canceled, and the planes in the air were called to return to the carrier. Lovell locked onto his radio signal and began his return. What he didn't realize was that the frequency for his instrument panel was the same frequency for an air base in Japan, some 70 miles away. Suddenly, he found himself flying alone in the dark, gliding over the choppy waves of the Pacific Ocean. Things went from bad to worse. Earlier, Lovell had added a small additional light to his panel so he could read his reference cards. When he turned on the light, however, he shorted out his instrument panel. Now the inside of his aircraft was as dark as the outside. He was desperate now, reaching for a pen light and holding it in his mouth as he struggled to read the panel. But as his eyes grew accustomed to the darkness, he noticed a faint greenish streak trailing out across the choppy waves. It seemed that as the aircraft carrier moved through the ocean, it churned up phosphorescent algae, illuminating the ship's wake in a dim gleam. He aimed for the head of the green wake and eventually caught up with his wingman. Now came the hard part. Lovell was now supposed to land on the aircraft carrier while holding that pen light in his mouth, allowing his hands to fly the plane. All that he had learned in flight school, along with his own grit and determination, would be needed if he was going to return safely. After one near miss, Lovell stuck the landing, where he was warmly greeted by his crewmen. Lovell's lights-out experience over the Sea of Japan prepared him for the events he would face as commander of Apollo 13. He was able to relate his past experiences to new situations when confronted by the daunting task of returning to Earth after orbiting the moon. In a less dramatic, yet just as important way, it is our hope that we've provided you with problems and difficult tasks in order to prepare you for situations that lie ahead. Opportunities to develop scholarly habits combined with personal characteristics of determination, ingenuity, persistence, and flexibility have been developed over the years to guide you through our system and prepare you for your future. I am confident that you will be able to remember those habits, solutions, and understandings and apply them to meet the challenges and opportunities you will be facing in your futures. Earlier I said that as the sun was slipping behind one of our hills, it was time to reflect on your accomplishments. But tomorrow, the sun will rise on another one of our hills, thus bringing forth your first full day as a VHS graduate. You will join the ranks of great individuals who have gone on to make their mark in society. Doctors, scientists, athletes, teachers, and leaders of their communities. People who make a difference in the lives of others every day. I call on you to continue that line of greatness, both large and small, as you step away from our school and into the greater society. Class of 2010, I will miss you. I will miss your intellect, your abilities, and your determination to overcome obstacles, both large and small. Most of all, I'll miss your warmth, personality, and the humble character which has defined you as a class. Thank you for making our school a great place. May God bless the class of 2010. Thank you. Hold on to it, guys. Hold on to it. We're almost there. Hold on. Someone just grab it and hold on to it. There you go. Members of the Board of Education, I am pleased to present the class of 2010. As principal of Verona High School, I'm proud to certify that the students participating in this ceremony have met the high school graduation requirements of the state of New Jersey and Verona High School. They have earned a minimum of 120 credits, passed the high school proficiency assessment, and successfully completed the required course of study. I ask that you hold your applause until the entire class has been introduced so that we can properly acknowledge each individual. Thank you.
Jenna Maria Barone. Daniel F. Egan. Teddy Ann Rosenstein. Erin M. Percival. Nicole Taylor Robertson. Stephen Anthony Adamo. Douglas P. Allen Jr. Thomas Banks. Alexandra Nicole Akers. Sydney Charisse Apolito. Sky Bernardo. Audrey Boucher. Christina Braschi. Stephanie Colon. Rebecca Marie Conaway. Ashley Conroy. Stephen Bertucci. Justin Christopher Brusso. Connor Michael Carr. Kevin Peter Clark Jr. Brett B. D'Alessandro. Thomas Mark DiGeronimo. Griffin Woodward Doherty. Alex Mitchell Eliasoff. Gianna Maria Del Vescovo. Lee Delafab. Monica Ann DeVita. Ann Noel Downey. Claire June Delaney. Emily Rose Fitzpatrick. Erica Johanna Frankie. Michael W. Fabrizio. Gerard Michael Feedy. John Richard Fitzpatrick. Ian David Garsman. Lauren Camille Frazee. Alyssa Marie Galuccio. Alexander Robert Gasson. Andrew Richard Goldstein. Michael Wilbur Gomes. Grasso. Patricia Caroline Garshall. Alana Marie Gibson. Melanie Taylor Goldstein.
Alyssa V. Goldborn. Sarah Guarducci. Christopher James Gray. Joshua Michael Grossbrink. Brian Hardenberg. Greg Hemmerly. Noah Thomas Herman. Danielle J. Hall. Harisa Hashemi Sohi. Gregory Kessel. Mackenzie Joseph Kirby. Nicholas Laeta. Evan Jude Lewis. Ryan Taylor Longton. Elizabeth Margaret Hathaway. Victoria Alexandra Hall. Amy Elizabeth Janet. Kirsty Lynn Nodal. Richard Liu. David Christopher Lucas. Christian A. Marin. Zachary Michael Marino. Teresa Martin Langen. Morgan Lee Laricchia. Andrea E. Latimer. Teresa Kathleen Lau. Tucker Dylan Mason. Anthony James Molinari. Zachary A. Munoz. Michael L. Newen. Charlotte Victoria Lewis. Stephanie Michelle Legiri. Ariana Jessica LaQuarrie. Edward Vincent Nicastro. Kevin Charles Oweiler. Anthony Oranges Jr. David Anders Oster. Gabriella Alexa Lombardi. Christine Lynn Macia. Stephanie Michelle Malfitano. Taylor Dawn Maloney. Emma Helen Marie McFarland. Kathleen Erin McGinley. Kevin John Ostering. Nicholas N. Page. Joel Menachem Paisner. Anthony Joseph Penna. Ashley Rose McSeveny. Tara Ellen Mead. Byron P. Quintuna. Joseph Ramo.
John Francis Reed. Sloan Peyton Mires. Bina Nai. Jessica Jane Noyes. Annie Elizabeth Palmer. Jamie Lynn Percival. Christina Carmela Perry. Michelle Lee Petronasi. Ashley Lynn Petrosky. Tyler Andrew Rowland. Elliot Michael Rose. Blaze Anthony Sachi. Alicia Grace Petrosino. Chloe Melanie Picola. Joseph Michael Sedonis. William Edward Schenkel. Nicholas F. Serafino. Gianna Lynn Pignatello. Emma R. Paulette. Thais Palmer. Natalie Isabella Remuni. Alyssa Marie Rochon. Jessica Lynn Sam. Kelsey Hope Shikram. Rebecca Ann Slotkin. Anthony V. Seymour. Sean Gerald Shabazian. Cameron Richard Smith. Melissa Ann Slabersky. Megan Elizabeth Smiley. Andrew Gregory Soderman. Anthony Lucky Streifer. Michael Nicholas Streifer. Jocelyn Courtney Smith. Chelsea Elena Stevens. Bridget Caitlin Sullivan. Rebecca Paige Thompson. Christy Nicole Torsha. Miriam Trickian. Gianna Rachel Tutela. Kirsten Lee Williams. Kenneth C. Wilson. Zachary M. Wisniewski. Victoria Grace Ye.